A couple of dudes just chugging and talking shit. You never know who's about to explode on this week's episode of Human
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Human Landmines on February 26th taping. It's an early show, so I'm having a tequila sunrise. Paul and I are up before noon today.
Yep. We got up before noon, but we didn't do jack shit until 12:34.
Whatever. This counts as an early show for us.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. If this is your first episode of Human Landmines, it's a show where Steven and I talk about pertinent subjects, ranging from all topics of technology, media, and a lot of porn. And what we really do is chug beer the whole time. And we're glad to have you.
That's correct. And before we jump in, let me let the world know that we got our shit together. So you can find the video version of this on YouTube. I believe our name is just Human Landmines, or if you just type in Human Landmines, it's the first thing that comes up. Or you can go to soundcloud.com/Human Landmines if you want the audio. Or, as of yesterday, we're the proud owners of humanlandmines.com, and you can see a picture of us there and also watch the latest video there and find the other shit. So there you go. I'll say it again at the end.
Yeah, we're proud to be website owners as of yesterday. Feels great. I never owned a www before, and I guess I owe Steven like $6 before I officially own it. But so Steven, I wanted to talk to you about the Tinder app. I was just Tindering.
Explain it. Explain how it works.
All right. Well, that's all I did. Before noon until now. So Tinder is a new dating app that I believe launched in the fall, and basically it links you through your Facebook profile, so you don't even have to sign up for it. If you have a Facebook on your smartphone and you download the app, it automatically feeds your information in, and you are Tindering, within 10 seconds of downloading the program. And basically, you pick what sample photos you want to be representative of you off of your Facebook profile. And so, me, for example, I have 3. One of them's me pouring a drink. One of them's me drinking a beer. And the other one's me playing metal.
Wait, really quickly, do you think that it's possible for me to pull up your Tinder photos online, or no? Maybe only mobile?
Maybe only mobile. I don't know. Tinder doesn't show up on your Facebook, but
okay.
Basically, that's what people see when they see me. But what I do is a girl's profile pops up and has a little blurb, and it has which mutual friends we have in common on Facebook and our mutual interests, which our Facebook interests are really funny and kind of random. So like most of the time we only have like music in common, like generic. Oh, good. I'm glad somebody listened to music too. But so what I do is I swipe my thumb to the left if I never want to see them again. But if I like what they got, I swipe my thumb to the right. And then
so simple.
It's really simple. And I only get notified if they right swipe me too. So what Tinder does is effectively take the rejection out of the online dating app. Now, I didn't really get it to date people. All my friends were playing on it one night, and we were drinking beer, and so I was like, let me download this, let me do this. And so there's like a lot of things I want to talk about Tinder, but the first thing I'm going to say is that like I've been very unsuccessful on Tinder.
Right.
I've only had
just to be clear before we start, because someone explained it to me almost exactly the same way, but their explanation of left swipe, right swipe, where left means you don't want to fuck, and right means you definitely do want to have sex with that person. But that's not necessarily what it is, right? It's just like you find each other attractive.
Yeah, they surveyed 1,000 people, and 96% of them said that this is the first dating app they've ever signed up for. And
Oh wow.
yeah, basically, you don't get to private message anybody unless you right swipe them and they right swipe you.
Right.
That's the only way. It's like, oh, you have a match.
But it doesn't
Nadia.
guarantee sex.
No, it doesn't guarantee
And it's
sex
not meant
at all.
to.
No, and like most of the people you match with, you don't even end up messaging because like that's kind of an awkward scenario, right?
Right.
So I just want to go over why I believe that I am a bad profile on Tinder.
Yes.
Is because it's either there's two distinct possibilities of why I'm not as successful as a lot of the people I know. And the first one is that I'm either not photogenic or I'm incredibly unattractive.
I think you're beautiful.
And this does not hurt my feelings at all to consider this option. I do fine. I'm doing fine. But,
Yes, you do.
But, so either every girl that I right swipe is like, holy shit, this dude is a fucking train wreck. Left swipe. Which, that's a possibility. The other possibility is that I am just a bad Tinder user in my swipe selection.
Are you very selective?
I want to say yeah, but I don't.
Because I feel like most dudes would just be like, yeah, right swipe, man. Just trying to, whatever happens, happens.
No, like, I mean, sometimes I'll go through like 100 bout left swipe sprees. I'll just left swipe like 100 people in a row. And it only
That seems
take
very
me like
selective.
it only take me like, 10 minutes. It's not like I'm doing it forever. But I'll just be like, oh man, this girl's too ugly to have a dude in her first picture with her. If it was like just her by herself, I might have observed the rest of her photos. But I'm like, then I don't really think me and that dude would get along if that's one of her friends, if it's her ex-boyfriend.
And maybe it's like she's trying to prove to the world that like dudes like me. Somebody would stand next to me.
That's one of my left swipes. Another one of my left swipes is if they have any sort of religious or political message in their little profile blurb, like John 3:16, left swipe, Republican, left swipe, Democrat, left swipe, Libertarian, left swipe. I don't give a fuck. I'm on here to basically look at chicks that aren't on the chive or in porn.
Yeah.
And so the other thing too is that like I think I right swipe bad people. Like I think I right swipe people that I wouldn't want to hang out with in the real world. Like, oh yeah, this girl looks high in her picture. She's probably real low maintenance. Right swipe.
Yeah.
Like even if she's like a 5 or a 6, I'm like, well, at least if we meet up for a drink, she'll be chill. Or if the girl's like fairly attractive, we're gonna say 5 through an 8, but she's drinking in her first profile picture. I'm like, oh yeah, definitely right swipe. Or
fun to hang out with.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm not really on the site to meet people, but I need to like take into real consideration that a lot of those people are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait,
tell people what you have on yours. You only have a short blurb, but like I feel like it can result in some cool things happening for you.
Oh yeah, okay. So I live in Charleston. Steven, I'm actually on Tinder right now. Steven lives in New York City, and my favorite bar at can you see? No, that's too bright, huh?
No, we tried that once.
Yeah, we tried that once. So my favorite bar is the Recovery Room. It's the bar I go to after I get off work. It's a very local-oriented bar, not a very big touristy scene. So I just wrote, it says Paul, 28, about Paul. Meet me at the Recovery Room, and we can party together. So...
Right. And you said you've seen girls from Tinder at the Recovery Room that you right swiped.
Yeah, I saw one of my matches at the Recovery Room the other day, and like, it's not that she was like way less attractive than it on Tinder, but I really only get to see like the 6 best photos, like the best duck face selfies she took.
Right.
And so when I saw her in real life, she was kind of like desperately, moving throughout the bar talking to like every dude, and I kind of just I tried to look like mad. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't I didn't want to like her to approach me because obviously she right swiped me, and so I just kind of like sat there and looked like I was brooding, but I was just like watching the Olympics or something,
Yeah.
and some really boring sport, and Cops was on one of the other TVs, and I was just like watching those two. But
You should have just gone up to her and been like, "You right swiped me. Don't you remember?" You know?
I got rubbers in my back pocket. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
Yo,
You never
I'm
know.
not. You gotta wrap it up when you're on Tinder, man. That's all I gotta say.
That's probably true. So, but that brings in a larger question of people misrepresenting themselves online, or yeah, which is probably super common. I think like anyone that has Facebook knows that it's super common because they see people that they may have grown up with for I don't know, years and years, 10 years, and then you see what their online presence is, and it's completely inaccurate.
Like, like you got like some really quiet, polite guy, and then you become friends with him on Facebook. You hadn't seen him in 10, 15 years, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, nice, Lawrence is sending me a friend request,
Yeah.
and like he's like really, really like politically preachy or really, really like whatever religion religiously preachy, and you're like,
Right.
that's
right,
funny. He was never like that before. Or
Right. Well, in that scenario, maybe he changed, but I mean, even people that you see every day don't necessarily match their online persona.
oh yeah, like some people look like they have the most fun lives in the world, but
Yeah.
if you hang out with them in real life, you're like, God damn.
God, dude, that's honestly what makes me the most sad is I see particular people, particular females that I'm certain post a picture every time they do anything remotely interesting. And like because you know that, it's really sad. It's like, "Oh, damn. She posted that she went to this like really standard restaurant this week," and like you know for a fact because she updates her profile so much, that's the only thing that happened this week for her.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a nice charcuterie plate, babe.
Yeah.
I hope your life's okay.
Yeah.
Um, Well, and then like a lot of dudes too. Like I don't know people just you should be cooler in real life than you appear online. If somebody looks like awesome or looks like they'd be super interesting, and then you meet him in real life, or
Yeah.
you know you always seen him around, and you know you're looking through just like out of boredom down their Facebook or you know whatever Instagram or Twitter, and you're like, whoa, this guy does all kinds of cool shit. And
Yeah.
then you like go and have you know you see him in a bar and sit down and have a couple beers next to him, and he's just this fucking dumb,
Yeah.
monotone robot, man. And you're like, how does he get into
in
doing
some
all this
sense
stuff?
like it's somebody that really was maybe like super shy in person or maybe even depressed. Like the internet could be a great way for them to like get happy, make friends, reinvent themselves. And in that sense you can't be too down on that. Like maybe they
No.
seem super social online because they wish they were like that in life, but they have anxiety.
Yeah, they wish they could say like what they thought to people in the real world, and since they can't, they just spam my fucking Facebook mini feed online
Right.
all the time.
Right. And it might still be
that what-
sad to
that's
us.
what- yeah,
but it
it's
might
still
make them
sad.
happier.
Well,
Yeah.
There's some people too that like, you know, I check that thing due to my screen addiction. We talked about screen addiction on the last episode, everybody. I check my Facebook all the time, just like out of boredom when I'm at work or whatever. I work a job where I'm allowed to be on my phone, so don't look at me like I'm some kind of lazy ass, okay? But I see some people, they'll fucking update 10 times a day.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
going to work. I'm on my lunch break. Time for Chinese food.
Right.
Just got off work. Gotta do laundry. Heart.
And it would be easy for I also when I work nights and I'm basically like not doing that much, I have a lot of time I could use on my phone and I could update 10 times if I wanted to. But I'll be completely honest, I think I somewhat do think about my online persona a lot, and I'm like, I don't want to be that guy that posts 8 times, and it's like a new thing. Like, I don't know what a good online persona for me even is, so I just
Well,
post not very often, like cool shit. Like
I
I
try to
usually
not.
post something on Facebook that's like a link to an article or a video or a song, like not something about my life. I'm just like use it as a way to share stuff that I think is cool every now and then.
I use Facebook a lot for concert promotion, and that's really helped out
Yeah, for sure.
my metal band Godwin Falcon because even though we don't have a ton of Facebook likes, we have combined we have a lot of Facebook friends that will actually, if they hear about it, they'll go to the
Right.
show. But I might not run into them, and I might not particularly want to send them a mass text. I might just want to like put it out there on the internet and like share that event
Yeah. It's a
and be
pretty
like,
intrusive way to share information. Like it's not a mass text or a message or even it's not even a form of a question like are you going to come or not? It's like this is happening. Now
yeah,
you know.
but we got to remember what social networking, like in the golden days, what they like idealistically imagined it would be.
That's a good question.
Because the way that I mean, when did you get on Facebook? I got on Facebook the second year was open because CFC was one of the schools that got selected.
Yeah, I got on really early. I got on in 2004, definitely my first semester in college, and I think it just came out like
It came out in 2003, I believe.
a year before, yeah.
And,
Yeah, you couldn't do very much on it.
No, but all I could do was talk to the people at my college,
Yeah.
and so it was like, "Yo, dude, here's a pic of you at Mickey's keg party doing the keg stand,"
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Lol," and
Right.
so people used to like write all kinds of gross shit on Facebook that like they'd never dream of writing, like private message some girl and poke her 5 times in a row.
Right.
I'm relentlessly be like, "Yo, we made out at Steven and Paul's keg party. Let's fuck tonight." And
Yeah.
I feel like now people are afraid to do stuff. People still do, but guys who would do it back then when Facebook was a smaller community are like, "No way, that's just not kosher now."
Right. It was only college students, and there's like certain shit you could get away with if you know that only your peers are the audience. Whereas
But
now
think-
it's like people check that shit for work. Like you got employers looking at it, your bosses, your parents in some case, like parents. Like, so I don't know what the right way to handle it is, honestly. I do what I do. I don't have like my parents watching my Facebook profile or anything, but I have some relatives, so like that's sometimes in the back of my mind, like, oh, how's my cousin gonna interpret this? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I mean, there's like a number of reasons that social media is good though, like to promote your art,
Yeah.
promote your businesses. You can get a lot of people in the know about your business by having good social media presence and getting a lot of likes, especially small startup companies. That's
Right.
like one of the ways that they could like have an edge up on the competition is if they're always letting people know about their specials or whatever, da da da.
And especially because the people who are more likely to follow them or be friends with you are local people who would actually participate in going to that restaurant or bar or whatever it is. It's like it's targeted really well because those people chose to like your business already. So like informing them about stuff seems okay.
And then the other thing I think it's good for is like keeping in touch with people that you may otherwise lose touch with if you didn't have a Facebook profile.
Absolutely.
And I don't think it's like good for. I don't think it's good for people with low self-esteem. I don't think it's good for
Yeah.
people who are unhappy in the real world because you get more dependent on like, oh no, I didn't have any notifications today, so my sad life is like seems really uneventful today.
Right.
But all that means is like Johnny didn't thumbs up your picture of your dog last night.
Right.
It's not like a big consequence. It's not like you asked somebody on a date and they stood you up, because that could be very hurtful. But that's a real life thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody puts a different amount of their happiness into their virtual self now. Like maybe 2% of my feelings might come from my that's probably high. I don't post that much, but like a very, very small percentage of my feelings come from my virtual existence. But I think a lot of people who post a lot, sit there all day, like that's their main way of interacting with people. Like it might be more than half of their feelings come from how people interact with their online self, you know?
Yeah.
Like and so then it's really serious for them. Like to us it's like I don't care if one person or 15 people like this. I put this song up cuz I like it and maybe other people want to listen to it. But for somebody else, it's like that's their whole thing. Like that's their day was like they posted 6 times to Facebook. I don't know. So it matters. It does matter to them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also like, if I post a comment or something and I get like, 75 likes on it,
Yeah.
that's awesome. But it's starting to be like, oh man, my shit only got 15 likes. That's fucking lame post. But there are some people who like beg for 15 likes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I don't put as
Definitely.
much faith into it as they do.
Hey, you still there? Shit. I lost you.
Or am I here?
Oh yeah, you're back. Sorry about that, everyone. Technical
Yeah.
difficulties. Yeah, I lost you
Yeah.
for 2 seconds.
Yeah, you kind of froze. You were like,
Your impression of a screen freezing is pretty accurate.
yeah.
Um,
Ignore the alcohol shakes, kids. That's a screen freeze impression right there.
Oh, I don't know. I think as time moves forward and we fucking all wear Oculus Rifts all the time or
Ooh.
have Google Glass, everybody's gonna actually end up putting a little more stock into their virtual self, honestly. Like it's probably trending that way where that shit will matter and it will be more real. I mean, it already is for a lot of big companies. It totally matters. People pay a lot of money for likes and comments, like real money for virtual stuff. And I think I don't see why that wouldn't happen to individuals as time goes forward.
So this is kind of an interesting thing to think about too, is that, so as there's like, we have cameras on our phones, we can videotape or take pictures of anything right now, but those devices that you're talking about, these new inventions, like Google Glass, can take pictures of anything all the time.
Right.
Like really, really conveniently and easily. So is your online persona, because it's eventually not going to matter what you post, because people will have, I mean, we already do. We have ways to videotape and take pictures of anything. So
Yeah.
you can try your hardest to like, go to the gym 6 times a week and like bulk up on, whey protein and stuff and be this super cut, really jacked, Arnold Schwarzenegger in his heyday looking buff guy, and all
Yeah.
your profile shirts are with your shirt off or at the beach and like and like you're hanging out with these beautiful women all the time. But
That sounds
what
great.
if but what if, so what happens when this guy, people, they're like, wow, he's so handsome. And there are tons of people on the internet, guys and girls, who like have like 60,000 followers and all they are is like semi-attractive.
Yeah,
But-
you're right.
But they post like sexy photos on Instagram, so people be
Yeah.
like, oh man, I want to see that sexy person pop up on my feed. What happens when the guy with the Google Glass is your cab driver and he drops you off in front of your house and Google Glass videos you taking a shit on your front porch? And he's like, look at Tommy Beefcake taking a dump on his own front porch. What a shit face.
Yeah.
That's gonna like ruin everything you worked for just because some asshole had
You're
camera
right.
goggles on.
You're right. You're not going to be able to like curate your image perfectly as this shit progresses. Like right now, you're right. Those people can curate like that beautiful image where they only take pictures of their ass in yoga pants, like when they're looking their best. But if this technology keeps increasing, it's going to be reality that comes forward, honestly, more
Yeah.
than the bullshit. You're right. So actually as time goes forward, shit would get more honest, I think. And
Yeah, like people would have to be like a good person all the time.
yeah,
And-
no,
and
I've thought about this before. I've talked about this with some people I know before. Like, whenever people are talking about protecting their privacy these days, and like, I used to be super into that in my Ron Paul libertarian days, like really worried about the government and people getting into my stuff. And now I'm sort of resigned to, in the probably near future, everything's going to be open and honest because the cab driver is going to Google Glass video you taking a shit. And, like, everything's going to be out there, which I think is a good thing. Like, everyone's going to just have to be honest because there's not really going to be privacy. So everyone's just going to have to be a good person, I think.
Yeah,
and,
or
I don't even worry about
suffer...
protecting my stuff anymore. I'm like, no, I'm fine with it. Whatever, it's out there.
Yeah, yeah, look at my Facebook. I'll, like, write about my Facebook at the bottom of my resume. Be like, yo... I like to party.
Mm-hmm.
You can see evidence of it on my Facebook, but get your fucking job done. I'm your boy.
Yeah, that's great. That's so great. There is a natural, like, there's definitely a natural dishonesty in the, like, corporate workplace right now. Like, the kind of people that would check your Facebook to see if you, like, have pictures of you doing keg stands and showing titties. It's like, what are they trying to say? That, like, this person is supposed to act like they're at work all the time? Like, it's such bullshit that they would even expect that of you. I would never work for a place like that wanted me to act like I was at the office even when I'm not at the fucking office. And
No.
I don't think that should exist soon.
Well, so, oh fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. It must be all the alcohol.
That's true. Where are you at over there? What are you drinking today, Paul?
I drink a 16-ounce Twisted Tea lemonade. These are new. They're all right, but I feel like they probably have less sugar than the original Twisted Tea, which I drink that too. And now I'm on to one of these 32-ounce Miller High Lifes.
Beautiful.
This is champagne of beer, and it's about as much liquid as a champagne bottle.
Beautiful. I had a tequila sunrise, which maybe isn't actually all the ingredients. It was just tequila and orange juice. Isn't there one more ingredient?
I think it has cranberry in it to give like the.
And then I had a michelada without the tomato part, which is a Corona, tequila, hot sauce, and cracked pepper. But I invented that part.
That's pretty. Yeah. Hey, I like that. I like what you did.
Yeah, bitches. I got cracked pepper on the set.
So, so people are gonna have to get better because of the internet.
I think, because you aren't gonna be able to bullshit whenever it's all in the open.
Yeah, I saw that dude who says he reads books, and he was looking at a picture book. Didn't even have any words, man. I Google Glassed his ass.
Exactly.
My dude doesn't read books. He reads Cliff Notes on the net.
I don't think I bullshit too much. Like, I present a different picture of myself probably to, like, family members than, like, my friends. But I don't have multiple personas. I certainly don't have a different online persona or anything. So I think that's why I'm welcoming the openness of everything.
You want to know what kind of online comments I hate? The ones that, like, well, the ones that are, like, really... People need to learn how to shut their mouth before they get their ass kicked. And you're like, all right, you know, Diane is really mad at somebody particularly.
Uh-huh.
But instead of confronting them and humanly approaching the problem, they just let Billy know that she's mad at him in the most passive-aggressive public way ever.
Super vague posts.
Yeah, but... If Diana and Billy are dating, and her hair, she goes to a hair appointment, and like, the hairdresser cuts her hair, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this haircut looked way better on the last girl. I'm really sorry." And she posts that, but her and Billy are being kind of on the rocks. And that causes this unwarranted paranoia.
Absolutely.
Through Billy.
Absolutely. Like people being like, some people need to know how to stop bullshitting whenever I come around, and it's like all that person's friends are like, shit, did I say something around him that was bullshit?
Was I drunk and told him a lie?
Yeah, I don't know.
I try to shoot straight with people because I don't remember what I say to people a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them the same story, and they'll be like, "Yeah, you told me that earlier today," and I'm like, "Oh fuck." And so I might as well tell the truth every time, than for them to hear me tell a different version of the story. There's this asshole. I'm not gonna name who he is, and I don't like really dislike a lot of people, but this guy is just. I've not met anybody who actually likes him, but he's this very cocky, attractive guy. So he like will be out at the bars, and he just talks to you like he's just talking through you, you know, like he just tells you about his life, doesn't listen to anything, and rolls on, and he's always like trying to be the center of attention and all. And he's telling me about this promotion he got at work, and he kept talking about how much he was making and how much he is making now and how much of a percentage of raise he got.
Yeah.
And I went to order another, you know, I didn't give a shit, but I was like, good job for you. Like, congratulations. That's great that you got a promotion, but it affects me in no way. And I'm going to go somewhere else now.
Unless you're buying around.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, yeah, it sounds like anybody can buy me a drink, douchebag. Let's roll. but so I go up to the bar, and he's talking to these two cute girls who, you know, they haven't heard about how shitty his reputation is.
Yeah.
Or they would just like be totally ignoring him like the other 50 people in the fucking bar. He's like walking around talking to himself, and everybody's just kind of like covering their face and trying to avoid eye contact with him so he doesn't talk to them next.
Right.
And he's telling them that he got a bigger raise than he told me he got. And he told them that he was at a bigger starting salary and is at now an even bigger salary than he told me. And so I don't ever want to be that fucking dude who people hear just, he's not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But there's some guys and some ladies who just bullshit and lie about everything, and they think that, like, I have no ties to this guy. But, you know, that's like one of the longest conversations I had with him was about his new promotion.
And
but
it could have been 100% false.
But I think he's a fucking liar.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, do you know what a good way to raise your online persona is?
What's that?
To make a sex tape.
Well, I was thinking about this, though.
That'll get some likes.
Yeah. I mean, or some hate. But
Well, yeah,
I don't think I want to be friends
talking.
with any... I don't want to be friends with anybody on Facebook who wouldn't watch my sex tape.
That's a great rule.
Yeah. Hey, before I accept your friend request, I have this video of me getting a foot job by this 400-pound lady. I'm going to need you to watch it real quick. And if you thumbs up it on YouTube, we're friends.
I like it. I like it.
So, do you think it's... I was thinking about this the other day. Do you think it's easier for, like, a really attractive person to get famous by making porn?
Okay.
Is it easier for a really attractive... We'll just say female because I don't want to talk about male porn stars.
And I don't think there's, like, dude sex tapes that often. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, it's not called the Ray J sex tape. It's called the Kim Kardashian sex tape. It's not called the Tommy Lee sex tape.
Yeah.
And the only reason it's called the Justin Bieber sex tape is because it's with a prostitute.
Dude, I didn't know there was a Justin Bieber sex tape.
Apparently he got caught with penis enlargement pills in his car and a bunch of weed, too.
Oh, God.
DUI, whatever.
Anyways.
Hey, yeah, when you're an androgynous lady boy, you probably need some penis enlargement pills.
Probably do.
Justin Bieber's neither here nor there. So, and I feel like there are dudes' names that you hear about in porn, but the real porn stars are women.
Yeah.
Because there are much more dudes looking for women porn on the internet.
Yes. Correct.
And, yeah, anyway. So, is it easier for, if I'm a pretty girl, unfortunately, this is all you get, but, I'm a pretty girl. I'm like, all right, I'm moving to Silicon Valley. I'm getting into porn. And I just keep doing porn, trying to get famous.
Yeah.
Would it be easier to get marginally famous in one of my other talents? Like, if I could sing okay, get a decent backing band, and, like, make a record and go on a, like, you know, regional tour
Yeah.
And then when I started getting press for my band, even a little bit, I had
Yeah.
making a sex tape then, or like starting to get published on a lot of like lifestyle blogs.
Yeah.
And then after people were like, "Oh yeah, maybe you should do a collection of your published works," and right after your collection releases, to boost that, you make a sex tape, or
I
like
think that's better.
I think that's probably like easier. Your sex tape would have like, "Oh yeah, did you hear the girl from the Panty Bandits did a sex tape?" Like that's her band. "Oh man, I always thought she was so hot when I saw her at the bar, and now
Right. And now you can see her having sex.
I can watch her suck off 3 dudes."
Yeah, there's also a misconception though that like I think everybody has perpetuated, at least since we've been alive, that like girls don't want to have a bunch of sex. But there's definitely some that do, which is why like the whole slut shaming thing is a thing. So like
I
some
think a
people maybe they'd rather just go do the grind of the porn star thing and not like pretend like they're doing something else. Like if the end goal was to make a sex tape and get famous, the girl just started the panty bandits to like make her sex tape cooler. Like maybe that's bullshit. Like maybe she should have just done porn. But if the question is how do you get more famous, I think it's probably easier to start a indie rock band or a modeling career or a reality TV show and then do a sex tape.
Yeah, like I feel just like you'd have a bigger. I don't feel like I particularly have an interest in watching a celebrity sex tape though.
Yeah.
Like a semi-celebrity sex tape is much more intriguing to me than like.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, if a marginally successful woman artist came out with a sex tape that I'd heard of a couple of times, like listened to a few of her songs, I'd be like, "Whoa, that's cool." But I feel like sometimes celebrities, their lives are online all the fucking time, on on TV, everywhere. They can't like, shart. They can't have a wet fart without it being on TMZ.com.
Yeah.
And so, eventually, I guess, like, I would think that fame would kind of get to them. To the point where, like, Kim Kardashian's probably like, "Yeah, my family's so fucking rich, we're on the paparazzi all the time. Fuck me, Ray J."
Yeah, but didn't that come out before she was famous?
What is she famous for? What the fuck does she do?
Well, so she was Paris Hilton's friend, literally, I think.
That's what Kesha was, too. We
And
need
then
to
she
hang
made
out
a
with
sex
Paris
tape.
Hilton for like 10 days and see if we get famous.
That's a really good idea.
I don't know if I'd want to hang out with her, but coming back to the Tinder topic, Paris Hilton, I'd see her and be like, "She's really hot and she looks dumb as fuck. Right swipe." Hot and dumb is an instant right swipe.
Do you know what's cool about celebrity sex tapes, though, that I've found?
What?
Is that I've brought them up in groups of people in mixed company or even mostly female company. Like when my girlfriend has friends over. And, like, no, I would never dream of being like, "Hey, girls, you want to watch some porn?" Like when there's like 4 girls at my house and like just that's the topic. But if you're like, "Hey, you guys want to watch the Kim Kardashian sex tape?" They're like, "Yeah, I've never seen it before. I've totally heard about it and want to see it." Because it's like a topic on TMZ that they've
like
read about.
Yeah, it's like why girls, like, why they get like Glamour magazine and like People magazine and stuff.
Yeah.
But like you never see me buy a People magazine unless it's got like James Franco on the cover.
Did you know that the European like People magazine and stuff just has titties in it? Like if they
why are we here? If I can go to the grocery store and be like, "Oh shit, this is only $4. Titties.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like they have regular like American and UK celebs in London, like, but they get the paparazzi shots that actually have titties in them, and they just put them on like the cover of those magazines that you don't see over here.
And
That's a fact.
meanwhile, you got to hunt down a nip slip in the U.S.
That's a problem with this country.
I'm looking for the upskirt coochie shot, and it took me 5 hours on the black market website.
Oh, but seriously, if you want a group of people to watch people have sex at your house, you just bring up a celebrity sex tape, and everyone's like, yeah, I'll watch that.
The thing that gets me too is like in the Pamela Anderson, Tommy Lee sex tape,
Yeah.
and in the Ray J, Kim Kardashian sex tape. The only thing I hear people say, it's not like, oh yeah, they titty banged and then they did the upside down 69 standing up.
I know what you're gonna say.
All anybody talks about is like, Tommy Lee's dick was so
Those guys both
fucking
have huge
big.
dicks.
And then Ray, oh my God, Ray J's got a beef hog on him.
Well,
And
in that one, there's a lot more to look at than that. I mean, in both of those, you're right. It's ridiculous that that's what people talk about.
I don't, more power to him for having a huge hog. But it's kind of like a circus, like a freak show. You're like, all right, cool, he's got a 13-inch hanger, but I saw it once, and that's kind of all I need.
Yeah.
I might be like, yeah, his dick's huge, but I'd be like, and her tits are huge.
Right. Well, yeah.
And her cooter's gross. Like, I don't want to, discuss the whole thing. I don't just want to focus on... Another thing, too, is I feel like celebrities have sex all the time. Like, at that...
Yeah, they do.
At that level of fame. So, it just doesn't... I don't know. Hey, you said you can convince girls to watch it easy, so I'm into it. But...
Right. And I think because there's a large crowd, a mixed company crowd watching celeb sex tapes, like way more women than would watch porn. I think that's why you have to acknowledge the penis size. You have to act like you're watching it as a spectacle.
Oh, that might be like one of the... Yeah. Do you ever watch the Kim Kardashian sex tape? I'd say no, but I heard Ray J's dick's huge.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Maybe we're just tricking them.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
We should say that about every celebrity sex tape. Did you see the Bieber sex tape? Huge.
Yeah. I didn't think that little girl boy had it on him, but he's got some fucking Dragon Balls and a beef hog.
Jesus Louises. All right, are we gonna wrap it up? We're like
hey,
40...
if you're on Tinder, you better wrap it up.
We're at 43 minutes.
Yeah, check out our website, www.humanlandmines.com. You can watch all our previous podcasts there, except the elusive first podcast. We're saving that for the first season DVD bonus features.
Yeah, we might put it up someday. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe when you guys like us a little bit better.
Exactly.
And thanks for watching Human Landmines. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Peace.
Peace, bitches.
Human